welcome everybody. Coach Kevin here. So this is Monday night session. So the moment is defending, the area is defending third, and more specifically, we're going to focus on defending the cross. Obviously, Monday nights are even numbers, so I've set up a full session, which I'll include at the end of this one, where I kind of focus on the 1v1, 2v2 defending in that central channel. So um, I can actually show you guys the session right now. This is Tacticalpad. So hopefully this will give you guys a good idea. So it's basically a winger that will run with the ball, drive with the ball. As the winger is driving with the ball, there's going to be a 1v1 situation in front of goal. So obviously you want to focus on a couple of things as a coach. Coaching points, obviously we're not coaching on the cross. We're looking at coaching points for defending the cross. So you want to make sure that your defender right here, your center back, has his body shape in a way, a 45-degree angle, in a way where he has what we call split division. So you want to make sure that your center back or your defender see the ball and the player at the same time. So this is very important that you can actually coach that. So it's all about body shape and body rotation. So let me just go in there. So as you can see, right, that's that. And just a quick idea on how they would do it. Obviously, I want to connect your center back to your goalkeeper as well, so communication is key. And a goalkeeper could tell the center back to clear this specific area that he or she is defending in front of goal. But obviously, it also depends on where the ball is played to and when the ball carrier is actually approaching or showing the attention to cross the ball. So as the ball carrier is about to cross the ball, we really want to coach the center back on what to pay attention to. So these are just a couple of examples. So obviously the timing here is right, where they go from zonal to man marking. And so uh, the first video was basically the goalkeeper and the center back communicating, and they won the ball in a 2v1 situation. The second one was where the center back actually had the acceleration and timing of the press correct, so that they were actually in time, on time there to block the ball or actually win the ball. And this is an example where the center back just might be a little bit off. So the timing and the acceleration is very important for the center back to actually press the ball or have that little explosiveness inside the 18-yard box, because they go from zonal to man marking pretty quick. So the focus, the discipline, the work ethics, very important. So this is just an example where it's a little bit too late, and then there's actually a finish on goal. This is a next setup, so you can do that as a progression, where you basically go in a 2v2 situation in the central channel against your two center backs. You can also include a coach or maybe another player that's in this line to play just a little give and go to make it a little bit more game-like specific. And as you can see, it's always a 3v2 situation if they do it correctly. So again, the same coaching points. What are your center backs doing? What's their starting position like when the ball is played? Are they behind the ball? Are they seeing the ball and the player at the same time? So that split vision is very important. So you can coach the body shape as well as the distance between the defenders, because you obviously want to make it compact, and the distance between players is important. But you also want to make sure that there's some type of communication channel between the goalkeeper and the center backs or the defenders. And then this was just an example on the clearance. Perhaps you can actually coach that too as a progression as well. So when they defend the cross, you can include the coaching points for different types of headers. So you have an attacking header, which is heading the ball to the ground. You have a controlled header, is where basically you want to control, maintain possession when you head the ball, which is just like you're touching it down and you're trying to, hold possession, maintain possession with a pass. And then this header is basically long and wide. So you want to coach that where they really want to get their body into it so they can actually head the ball away high and wide. So give your teammates and your backline time to push up and clear that danger area right there. So I'm just going to let it play one more time so you actually see that we go from a 1v1 situation where this number 4, the center back, did not see the attacker and the ball at the same time. This was good, where the center back went from zonal to man marking, having that split vision. And this is an example where the defender might have had a wrong body shape, tracking the run far post with his back to the ball. And here again, same thing, communication is key here. And then this is just another example of a clearance header where you're actually looking for time and space. One more time. Here slowly maybe. I don't have slowly, but this is communication between goalkeeper and the center back. This is the split vision, player and ball at the same time. And then this might be a coaching point where the body shape is wrong, where the number two, look where number two, he might be going back, turning his back to the ball, and he's late. So that's a coaching point. 2v2, you go from zonal to man marking pretty quick, and communication channel. Same thing here, zonal communication between two center backs because the attackers might cross like that, and then the headed clearance, high and wide. So technical breakdown, obviously, you're looking for that defensive organization, compact shape, clear communication, aggressive positioning. So the main principle here is you want to deny the finish, prevent scoring opportunities, obviously. The sub-principle is defending the cross, so you're looking at your defensive shape and organization. Marking and tracking opponents, you go from zonal to man marking. I mentioned the split vision and the aggressiveness is very important. Player action, scanning. Obviously, you want to see, what the open spaces might be that they might cross the ball into. So awareness on where you are. So that's the zonal awareness, and then player marking. I mentioned that. So that's the sub principles. Your body positioning. I keep referring to the 45-degree angle body positioning. So the proactive stance on your front foot, on your toes, so you can actually win that couple of seconds when you actually have to press the ball or going for a challenge. And given the fact that it's inside the 18-yard box, obviously you want to be first to the ball and controlled clearances. That's why I mentioned the different types of headers. There, key player actions, scanning, compact team shape, mark attackers, track attackers if they get into your zone. Attack the aerial balls. Don't wait for the ball to come to you. You want to move forward and head the ball. Communicate with your teammates, depending on whether it's marking or maybe clearances. So the goalkeeper is part of that too. Um, my game model is a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1, depending on how the game goes, with two sixes, two pivots. So it's very important. Quick overview. This is part of my game model. If you guys are interested, feel free to reach out. Main principle, deny the finish. Sub principle, defending the cross. So we want to protect the width of the goal. How do we do that? We want to have close marking of your opponent. You want to have your split vision, so keep an eye on the ball and the opponent at the same time. You want to be the first to the ball, so challenge, aggressiveness. But in order to get there first, you also need the explosiveness and knowing where the opponent is, so the marking and tracking of the opponent. And switch to your player marking when necessary, because they're all zonal, but then sometimes you have to go into man marking. Obviously, intercepting, I mentioned that. You want to meet the ball halfway or at their highest point. You don't wait for the ball. And if you're just a little bit late, you still have an opportunity to block the shot. So that's also part of the tactical pad, and I'll include the tactical pad in this presentation at the end. So getting in between the ball and a defending goal to redirect the ball away from goal, which is basically blocking the shot. It's adopting a body shape. One example was where the defender turned his back to the ball on a cross, so he didn't know where the ball was being played to. He only had eyes for the player, so that split vision really comes into play. It's a 1v1, so it's a 10-second duration of work. You saw 2, 3, 4 players in line, so it's 10 seconds work, 30 seconds of rest, so you have 40 seconds. You do that times 8. That brings you up to 6-7 minutes. You do that times 3. You're up to 20-25 minutes with a little bit of a break in between recoveries. So that's actually a 30-minute activity. You can actually go into a 2v2 situation as well, where you work for 30 seconds and then you rest 2-to-1 ratio, which is a minute of rest and 30 seconds of work. You do that times 8, so that's another 12 to 15 minutes. For repetitions, 3 sets, so that's another 30 minutes. So that's your session for 70 to 80 minutes right there. I'll include the tactical pad in this presentation at the end. So make sure to give me a thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram. I have about 24,000 followers. I also post my curriculum on there and some professional videos and activities as well. So it's a good it's a good link to have if you're ever short of creativeness to actually do your own session. But that's about it. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.